Hello again, and welcome back to Bobbio Plays Dark Souls 3, The Ringed City. I'm just going to jump straight out here, try to remember what I was doing. Oops, try to remember the buttons as well, it's always good. Hello, thank you for checking out this video, if you're new to the channel. I don't often do this kind of thing, but Dark Souls 3 has or the Souls games have a special place in my heart, and I quite enjoy the lore, I quite enjoy the world building, the effort that goes into that, so I like to take a look at it, and piece together what I can. And with the Ringed City being the last in the franchise, probably the last installment we'll see of Dark Souls before From Software moves on to something different. It's a nice opportunity just to go through and just soak it all in and let's see what we can make of it. White Preacher Head. What is this? I like this. An empty head of a white-faced locust that rose from an abyssal swamp. The white-faced locusts were meant to beckon men to the dark with sermons, but most of them are unable to think past their own stomachs. Someone must rise to the occasion and restore the path of righteousness. Perhaps that someone is you. Did you not arise from the abyss, and did you not resist drowning in the age of fire? Locusts and men are kindred spirits. So, the locust preacher up at the top of the Ringed City there said something similar, that, you know, we're kindred spirits, like two eyes peering upon the other, and yeah, it's a very cool idea that, you know, humans and these bugs, these abyssal bugs, have this the same thing, because they both have risen from this darkness, and they have just endured all this nonsense with fire and light and everything, and they are intrinsically dark. Humans, us peeps. Yeah, we did you not resist drowning in the age of fire? It's directly addressing the protagonist, directly addressing the player. It's nice. I like these kind of fourth wall breaking descriptions. There's a couple of them. In particular, I think Patch's equipment is almost like he's speaking to the player and kind of boasting about himself, which is kind of fun. And I've actually seen a theory on Reddit that Patches is the author of all of these item descriptions, which is kind of nice. It's the idea of him kind of narrating to the player from wherever he may be, because he kind of lasts to the end of the world as well, you know, in some shape or form. But we won't go into that now. So did you not resist drowning in the age of fire? Yeah, we did, and we like to think that we did do that. I'm going to wear it. I think it's cool. I think it's hilarious. It's actually better than my mask, apart from a bit of fire and dark. So, yeah. Yeah, it's not so... Yeah, it's better, it's better resistances as well. So, let's be a white preacher-faced dude at the end of the world. I love it. Like, just naked, hairy-backed man with a locust head. So weird. So I actually, when I was first tinkering through this, I actually thought that wearing this would give some extra dialogue when talking to the preachers, but it doesn't seem to have any effect, unfortunately. But I'll just wear it anyway, because it's got some nice locks there, nice silvery locks. It looks pretty ugly. It looks pretty great, I think. So... yeah, what was I saying? We've kind of, it's basically telling us, or it's, you know, it's kind of rhetorically asking us, you know, did you not endure all this rubbish up above, in the world above, with the gods, and how they all love fire, and, you know, Lord Gwyn coddling fire, and you know, all this stuff. Oh, hello. Oh yeah, there's a giant over there. I think I missed some stuff up there. I've definitely missed some stuff up there. Shall we press on this way? See what we can make of all this. Oh yeah, let's deal with these dudes first. Oh, there's two of them. That's bad news. Oh, bad news. Let's grab that. No. Ooh. Okay, good. Just pull one of you over. Ouch. Oh, jeez, I didn't know they did that. That's a little throwback to the to the turtle-backed warriors in Dark Souls 2, isn't it? It's quite cute. Little butt stomp. Oh god, that was a terrible dodge. There we go. Not very good. I'm not very good at this game, to be honest. There are much better people out there. There are people who've picked apart the lore. There are people who've, you know, they've done it all. But I do just enjoy going through at my own pace, which is what you should do, really. I'm just looking at the little interesting details. Yeah. That's a sneaky one with a little pause there. Oh gosh, he's bump slammed me. Of course he has. Yeah. Ouch. Traded at the end there. That was unnecessary. Herald Legion gauntlets. Yeah, I don't think they say anything different from the other stuff. So let's continue. Do I want to go up there, or do I want to go up this way first? I think I missed some stuff up this way, so let's... Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Super Mario Kart! Oh, gosh. That's how you want to do with those guys. Knock them on their backs. Like those silly toidles they are. Let's see if we can pull this guy. Yep. Don't do that. Come over here. No. Please. Stand here. No, doesn't work. Don't make me do it. Don't make me do it. Oh, I'll do it. Nice. Ah, just missed. There we go. Lovely. Okay, and yeah, those guys are weird because they wear the kind of cleric robes, and they have that the cleric blue robes, and they have the big case on their backs, the big kind of cover, which is reminiscent of the clerics of these lands, and it reminds us of the hollow, the Londor
One
pilgrims.
met the dark with learning, but in the end learned his knowledge was wanting. The world began without knowledge, and without knowledge will it end. Does not this ring clear and true? Fear not the dark, my friend, and let the feast begin.
So I quite like that one. I'm not sure exactly who he's talking about. Someone have speculated that it's the Vinheim dude, the magic sorcerer dude in Farron Swamp, in Farron Keep. It could well be, because he's one of the main sorcery guys in Dark Souls 3. It could well be someone from the Dark Souls universe in general. Could be someone else. The fact that he met the Dark with learning. There's many people who would have tried to study Dark and Heresy and the Abyss and, you know, tried to make sense of it, but he's basically saying that they couldn't. But he's saying, don't worry about it, you can't make sense of everything. You know, you're just human. You came from Dark, the world started without knowledge. The world started stupid, and it's going to end stupid. You know, there's not going to be anything to learn. There's not going to be anyone to... no books, there's not going to be anyone to read them. It's just going to be dark, so don't worry about it, forget it. I think that's kind of cool.
One poor girl slew her own kin, but even so was embraced, enveloped by the abyss. 'Twas a comfort that neither moon nor sunless sky afforded her before. Fear not the dark, my friend, and let the feast begin.
And this one is probably, is her name Cirrus, I think? Might have got that wrong, but her grandpa is Hodrick, and that's who it's talking about. She slay her own kin, which is, she killed her own kin, which is her grandfather. And that was a little event that takes place after you meet them both down there in the pit where you fight the cursed Great Hollow, or whatever it's called. And yeah, I think it gives that away there, because it says, you know, neither moon nor sunless sky could afford her that same comfort. And she, even though she killed her family, she was able to find comfort in the abyss, in the dark. So it's kind of, it is kind of dark, it's kind of grim, but it's nice. It just, these preachers are telling us, for better or for worse, everyone ends up in the abyss, everyone ends up in the drink, and that's fine, because that's where we all came from. So it's just like, please accept it, come with us. You know, it's basically saying, let us eat you, let us feast on your remains, just, you know, just die, and let us kind of finish off what's left of this withering world. But it's kind of cool. I just like these creatures. They have this nice oily metallic look to them. They just look gross, and the fact that they are so well spoken is just brilliant. Only Dark Souls, eh? I think that's it for this one.
One.
Yeah.
The word does not
this ring clear and true? Yes, it means, you know, isn't that obvious? It's going to end without darkness? Sorry, it's going to end without knowledge? Where are you off to? No! Don't you dare. Hey! Oh gosh. Okay, let's do this then. Let's do this. Come on, take your time. Take your time though. Oh no, his friend's coming. Please. Please don't come across the bridge. How much space have I got? I've got this space to work with. Ooh, a bit of dragon roaring. Ooh! Oh gosh. Hold on. Hey. Oh god, no. Don't even... Please? Oh, I'm just gonna go this way. I don't think I want to do this. Don't think I want to do this here. You're not coming down here. Oh my goodness. This is the worst. Oh no. I forgot about this too. This is the worst. I have to go. I have to go. My planet needs me, guys. The bug planet. Are you coming down here? You best not be. No, whatever. Ah, I know what to do. Oh, no. Don't even think about it. Hang on a minute, does Seed of Giants work on those guys? Let me see. There we go. So now if Ledo tries anything funny, He can deal with them, can't he? Havel's ring +3. What's that doing here? What a funny ring to find. Find, eh? Find! Okay, Havel's ring +1/3. A ring for warriors keen on heavier accoutrements. Increases maximum equip load. This ring was named after Havel the Rock, the battlefield compatriot of Gwyn the First Lord. The art of war has been a constant since ages past, and those who would follow in Havel's footsteps are no fewer now than in his own day. So there's no indication that this was Havel or anything like that. You don't need to jump to any crazy conclusions. It's just that there's still many followers of Havel because he was such a big dude. He was such a big, rock hard guy, and everyone loved that apparently. There's still some debate as to who and where we find, who was the original Havel and where we find him. I'm kind of inclined to believe it is the dude we fight in, actually inside the tower in Dark Souls 1. I'd be fine with that if that was the case. Oh. But there's a couple of people who obviously wield the dragon's tooth, and a couple of people who sport the whole kit of armor. So it's not completely clear cut, is it? The fact is that we meet that. Oh gosh, no! What the? Oh, it's you. The fact is that we meet that one Havel follower. In what's it called? In the Dragon Shrine. The Dragon Shrine, or the... What's it even called? I'm terrible at these names, aren't I? In Archdragon Peak, that's the one, sorry. Archdragon Peak. Oh, and who's this now? Who have we found here? Yes, I thought we might find this gentleman here. Covetous gold, was that? I didn't see what that was. I think I'm wearing the one for souls. That's the one for items. Gold ring depicting a snake that could have been but never was a dragon. Fallen foes are more likely to drop items. Some funky line breaking there. That's always tricky, isn't it? Snakes are known as creatures of great avarice, devouring prey even larger than themselves by swallowing them whole. If one's shackles are cause for discontent, perhaps it's time for some good old-fashioned greed. Yeah, so interesting how we find these rings down here. They say pretty similar things. The shackles, I'm not sure what that's referring to. Could potentially just be the shackles of man, or the shackles of dark, or even the shackles of fire, if you're kind of more inclined towards dark and you're really against Lord Gwyn and all that. It could be the shackles that the Moundmaker Covenant speaks of. Could just be that kind of, those kind of humanly, worldly good shackles. I don't know. Maybe it's just flowery wording. But yeah, the two avaricious creatures, the snake, giving us souls and items there, could have been but never was a dragon. That's super interesting. So snakes are kind of like lesser dragons, or unevolved dragons, or something like this. Could have been, but never was. Very cool. But yeah, what was I saying? Lost my train of thought over there. So let's just talk to Lap.
Oh, and here we are again. How goes things? I'm rather running in circles, I'm afraid. I can't find the purging monument, and I've searched high and low. What if it was never here in the first place? Oh, bloody hell. What do I know?
I do not know.
Sorry. I know it doesn't concern you. Seeing you all good and well, I just sort of spilled my guts to you. Just forget it all. Like a good hollow would. Yeah. seeing you, just forget it all. Yeah.
So poor Lap, he's a bit... Oh.
Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, so we don't know where the Purging Monument is yet. We need to find it. It's a pretty interesting puzzle to do that. But yeah, poor Lap, he's just having a crotch here because he can't find his Purging Monument to get his memories back. So we're going to help him out as a good friend. You know, what are fellow hollows for? What are fellow humans? We're in this together, aren't we, old bean? Let's pop down here, get this item we missed, to fight this guy. Ring a Knight Spear, nice. Oh no, are you going to throw stuff at me? No, you are though. Hang on a second. Ow. Ooh. Ouch. Quit it. Quit it. Ow. Jeez. Ow, jeez. Comboed. Ooh. Oof. Steady on. Steady on, I say. See ya! Lovely. Chunks. So I think this is where you come down off the main path over here. Let's just kill these guys for good measure. Don't want to get cursed. Yeah, this comes back onto the main path, doesn't it? This item over there we've missed, so let's grab that. Try not to get smushed by Herald Knights. Oh gosh. Oh no. Ah, bleh. Try not to get squished. Gonna be needing a bonfire soon, I reckon. Oh gosh, you can follow down here, that's not good. Let's go back to the relative safety of the preacher man. Okay. Right. Now, I think there's another item somewhere around here. Which can... Oh, that was the dead lizard from before. No, I can just drop down. Do it. Oops. I thought that was it up there. So, I suppose we could try and take on those guys. We do need a bonfire. We do have quite a few souls. What to do? Ideally, like to press on a bit more. I have another half hour today, and we'll see how far we can get. I shouldn't think we'll make stupendous progress, but I think I just got this item, didn't I? Yeah, went in there. There's the lightning guy. And around here is just lap, so down here is nothing. That's the path back to the main road, yep. Lovely. Getting the bearings there. Let's just cheese this guy. I'm not in the mood. You gonna try and get me off the edge? You can't fall off the edge, can you? That's silly. Wait. Wait. Lovely. Oh, he's mad now. Don't block it. It's no fun, is it? Oh! How do I get the extra Estus? Do you get that randomly from some people? That's weird, wasn't it? Come on then. That's sneaky. Oh no, that's bad. Oh gosh. There we go. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Now I reckon we can take on Leto. Old Leto. Where are ya? Where are ya? Seriously. There he is. Come on. Look at him doing the slow walk. I love it. Brilliant. Come on, Leto. Oof. Love it, they really behave like real invaders, don't they? Very clever. Oh gosh! That was close, wasn't it? Oh, that's... got a random drink. Way! Oof! Ah! Oh! That was close. You look ridiculous. Ow, 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 ow. Haha. R1 spam, everybody. Leto's great hammer. Nice. Where is it? It's a big one. Oh, keep going past these things. What? Oh, there it is. Great hammer wielded by the Silver Knight Leto. Leto's hammer is far the heaviest weapon, by far, surely that should be, amongst those wielded by the Knights of Anor Londo. Leto, an eccentric who travelled across the outskirts, became a close friend to the giants, and even Havel the Rock. So that's cool. So it's actually a Silver Knight. We actually learn of a Silver Knight. An actual person. Well, an actual guy with a name. It's called Leto. Or Leto. And yeah, he was a knight of Anor Londo. Silver Knight left behind to look after the city of the gods. And he was an eccentric. And he became friends with the giants and with Havel. So the Havel the Rock. Which is cool. So it's just like, you know, I'm not sure, maybe someone's pieced that together a bit better than I could. Right here, right now, but it's cool that it's just like a dude with a personality and, you know, as an actual knight with a, kind of with a, supposedly with a face and with a name. It's just interesting. I wonder how he became friends with Havel the Rock. That is interesting. So another chunk there. So can we drop down this way, or do we not want to do that? I don't think we want to drop down there, do we? Probably want to come back the way we came. It keeps giving me Estus. Why does it... Oh, you get Estus from killing invaders, don't you? Of course, I'm being dense. So, I'm sure I got like 2 before I killed him. Just gave me a top-up, which was very friendly. Anywho, let's press on. So now we might even have enough to... Oh gosh, don't fall off there. We might even have enough to press on a bit further to the next bonfire, or at least open up a shortcut or something. And that would tie things up quite nicely for the episode. I do worry about the giant, because he's going to summon all those archery poos, isn't he? Let's try and go around the outskirts. This isn't a friendly one. Ow! Don't spray your stuff at me. You get the R1 spam. You get the bleed. Oh, now I'm all slow and sticky. Ew. I got gunked. Let's work our way up around here. There's some items to get. Nice. Oh, big bug. Oh. Good. So some of these things, it says they can't think past their own stomachs, so they just want to eat people. Oh no, who's that? Who's that? Who's that? I think it's up there, isn't it? Need to run around and get him. There's a couple of them. There's a couple of them. Ow. Oh wait. Nice. Chunk. Lots of chunks. Ow. Ah. Ah. Oh gosh, I'm gonna die. Let's run away. There's loads of them. Young white branch. There's a little white birch tree here, which is interesting. Oh gosh, we're getting swarmed by these things. Just want to run away now. Don't think we want to go all the way around there. I think we should just go back to the fire and then make a beeline for this general direction, don't you? Go back around the outskirts, because we're going to get stomped. Oh no, and the giant's there too. Oh no, he's done it. He's gone done the thing. Oh no. Oh no, guys. Don't do it. No, 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 no. Okay, we're safe. Oh no, we're not safe. Okay, that'll do it. There we are, that's better. Yeah. Now, let's just run straight back across to where we were. Oh, right, yes. Hey. I shall partake. I shall partake in some R1 spam. Thank you very much. Run, little bugs. Run, little locusts. So supposedly we're running through this abyssal swamp that has swallowed up the ring city. Very cool. Bye. Just keep running around, see how many of these things we can bypass. Oh gosh, there's lots of them. around. So they're all kind of feasting on this, well, kind of feasting near this black crystalline substance. Just, I guess, kind of materialized from the, these guys are all kind of praying to it, or praying to this monument, whatever it is. Interesting. Make of that what you will. Let's run and grab the item, and run out. Stick around here when we steal their church guardian shivs. No. No. Now you see all these dead bodies of Harald knights, which is kind of cool. Oh, they're still chanting at me. Stop it. All these dead knights here. And who do we see over there? Are you going to stop now? No. Let's try and go a bit further. Now, who we have over here? Very interesting. Our old friend, Dragon Slayer Armor. Woo! Woof. So a little mini boss fight here, kind of fun. Of course he doesn't have the help of his, ouch, of his pilgrim butterfly friend, do you? Whee. Oh, that's good. Good whiff. Good whiff again. Oh gosh. Oh no. Ouch. That's cool. Ow. I tried to parry that. Unsuccessful. Yeah. There we go. And of course we get his cool armor. The Iron Dragon Slayer helm and the armor and the gauntlets and leggings. Let's take a quick look at this. This is quite nice. Where's it gone? I've lost it again. There it is. Stark melted iron helm of the ancient Dragon Slayer armor. The armor defeated by the Champion of Ash in Lothric was left ages to rust until it slipped into an abyssal swamp, where it was possessed once again by the memory of the hunt. So very, very cool. It's nice that we get an idea of time, of you know, the passage of time. I think the other it just is the same thing. I'm trying to say armor. Yeah, very cool looking, I'm sure. But it's too heavy for me to wear, of course. Yeah, so it actually tells us it was defeated by the Champion of Ash in Lothric. It doesn't say, you know, we are the Champion of Ash. It doesn't say defeated by you. It just says, just kind of a, you know, a casual, kind of generic comment. The Champion of Ash defeated the Dragon Slayer armor back in Lothric, which of course, you know, we did, or the Champion of Ash did, and then left ages to rust. So ages have passed before it slipped into an abyssal swamp. So it's always two things. One, everyone always says, you know, time is convoluted in Dark Souls, you know, because Solaire says that line in the first game. That's the kind of go-to excuse or go-to kind of reason or logic for a lot of the weird stuff that happens. And yeah, to a large extent, you can just write everything off with time is convoluted. Haha. But, time does pass and time does flow. And I've seen some nice ideas of time being a kind of spiral. It is circular, but it is also swirling down into a point, into a, into an end. It has an end. And the end of time is the end of the world. And even though we have these cycles, this kind of circular motion, cyclical motion, then it does eventually slip down and down and down and ends up. And it's kind of nice, this imagery of the spiral, because it kind of gives the idea of everything going down a plug hole or going down the bog or something like this, everything. And we have the drag heap where everything is just kind of mulching into itself, and all the lands are converging at Lothric, which is kind of cool. And so it makes sense that the Dragon Slayer armor, which was in Lothric, would slip down into this abyss. So geographically or chronologically, it doesn't have to make perfect sense. You can say, yeah, these guys are just piecing things together, randomly for the sake of it, and to an extent, yes, people wanted the Dragon Slayer armor, so it's like, okay, how do we work this in? Potentially a lot of thought, went into this, cramming things in this way, if you want to see it like that. But they do have this nice framework for things to work in this way. In terms of time, the passage of time, and in terms of the unstable geometry of the lands, and how lands rise and fall over the ages. Ages have passed. We have this excuse. It's not just time is convoluted, it's just a long, long time has passed. And I think that's cool. I think it's nice to have a kind of a physical, like a real yardstick by which to measure that passage of time. It's just we're just kind of nonchalantly wandering through the ages and just doing stuff, just killing all the guys. And but time is passing around us, and the world is slowly ending around us, so it's really cool. And there's the rest of the swamp just completely flooding the city, enveloping the city. So it's really interesting how this whole area is laid out like this. Yeah, we can't go down there. This is the edge of the map as far as we're concerned. But we're just going to continue on around. Oh, is that an item over there? Just going to grab all the things. And if we could kill the giant, I don't think it respawns, so it would make this area a lot easier coming back through, wouldn't it? Where's my deer anyway? Where's the dragon? Is he perched up there? Possibly up there? So I don't remember where he perches before he swoops in. I'm gonna try and kill the giant. Oh gosh, these guys are ready. Oh, so when you're in a gang, you're a bit more feisty, are you? Oh, hello. Oh gosh, there's a big one. Oh no, oh, this is bad news. Whoa! I'm gonna get eaten. I'm so gonna get eaten. Ow, ow, ow. No, you shall not. Ow! Ugh. Whoa. Don't squirt your poop at me. I don't want it. Right. Oh no, this one wants peace. pale pine resin. So, is it interesting at all that these guys drop this pale pine resin that faintly glimmers? The blood-red substance sometimes found within suggests there is more to this so-called resin than meets the eye. So that's kind of gross. That's kind of gross. It's probably something to do with what they've eaten and how it kind of forms inside them. Right. No, you're going to call your guys, aren't you? Oh no. Ow, no, 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 no! Oh, jeez! Ow, that was really bad. That didn't go as well as I thought. They mind, eh? Just, 200-odd thousand souls. It's no biggie. Like I say, we're not here to power through, to power play. The title does say a bit of lore and game. Don't put too much weight on the tips part. Hopefully you might see a shortcut or but nothing to write home about, I imagine. Let's Ember up. Down there now. I want to work my way up that side. Well, first of all, I'll kill you. Oh no, you're not summoning already, are you? That's a bit rubbish. They can't get me. Oh no no no! Where? No! I'm all slow. No! Oh gosh, no. Hey. Don't appreciate it, Leto. So it says he befriended the giants, and there we go. He's working with the giants down here. Ow. Well, working with the giants, I mean, he is in the services of the adjudicated giants here. So perhaps he's given them his soul and they can use it. They can summon him freely, even after you've defeated his dark spirit, apparently. Let's go around here. I think there's an item at least that we haven't got. There's this item. Ringed Knight, straight sword. So, are we going to get ganged up on by Leto here? No, we're okay. Oh gosh, no we're not. Please. No, just get out of here. I want to talk to the bug. Just give me a second. Okay, we're good now. Okay, we're good. So, first of all, let's take a look at that. The Ring of Knight straight sword. Oh, I have two Storm Rulers here. There it is. Lovely. Straight sword wielded by the Ring of Knights. The arms of early men were forged in the abyss and betray a smidgen of life. For this reason, the gods cast seal of fire upon these swords and those who possess them. So, this is cool. The early men, so primordial man, i.e. potentially pygmies, their weapons and equipment were forged in the abyss because they came from the abyss. So it just gives us this really like it's our ancestors so far back that they were just using the abyss to make their weapons. So early man was literally, forging with the abyss, which is kind of a cool image. While the gods obviously did not like this, they were forging with fire, and darkness is obviously the antithesis to fire and to light. So they cast a seal of fire upon the swords and those who possess them, and that is why we get. I don't think I have the armor. It would be very obvious if I had it. It was very clear to see. But that is why we get the seal. Is essentially the dark sign, and this seal of fire around the dark, around the abyss, is this thing. Where is it? There we go. The dark sign. And you know, the Ringed Knights have this on their chests. They have this seeping hole of darkness, and they have the ring of fire around it. The eclipsed sun is reminiscent of this image as well. This ring imagery is part of the Ringed City, of course. It all ties together, and we finally learn the meaning of this symbol of the dark sign, and it is the seal of fire that the gods cast upon early man, upon the darkness in men. And it's supposed to contain it. It's supposed to... Fire is trying to contain the dark, which is a really weird, messed up idea, which is obviously doomed to failure. But they tried, because they just didn't like it. They didn't want man to rule. They didn't want darkness to rule. They're the gods. They had to do something, didn't they? So, yeah, the dark sign is a sign of an accursed undead. The dark sign returns its bearers... Carriers of the dark sign are reborn after death, and eventually lose their minds, turning hollow, and so it is they're driven from their homelands. So there's just, you know, a little bit of background there into hollows themselves. The carriers of the dark sign are probably all human, or have some human, you know, figment within them or whatever. But yeah, this is really interesting with this straight sword, forging the abyss and betray a smidgen of life. And this life is darkness, is the dark, is man, and it is life, it's mortality, and the gods obviously didn't like that, which is cool. So we're just learning all these bits and pieces about just how, you know, the gods tried to, you know, they weren't fully on the side of humans. They were trying to contain them. Obviously, the Ringed City itself is like a kind of a penal colony. We learn it's a place of exile, where we were. What the old pygmies were banished. The old pygmy royalty was contained here, and it's just all very. It's all. Everything is not as it seemed in Dark Souls 1. It's kind of bringing everything fully into light here, what was actually going on behind the scenes. That's cool. So let's listen to this preacher, and then I think we'll wind up for today.
And so, she lived in fear of the dark, of the things that gnawed at her flesh, and yet the abyss hath yet to produce any such creature. Fear not the dark, my friend, and let the feast begin.
I love that one. I think it's talking about Irina of Karim, the blind Way of White girl who is protected by Morn, the knight with the large gargoyle stone helm. I think it's talking about her because she was scared of the dark, and she was scared of the little creatures that nibble and bite, and she thought it was the darkness coming to get her, and maybe it was, but she was afraid of it. And maybe this is a kind of, and I really like this because the preacher, the way he says, and yet, it's like, you know, but they weren't actually little gnawing creatures from the dark. That's maybe a manifestation of the abyss, or of the maybe even of the deep. You know, I think I'm not going to go into this right now because it's a huge, another whole tangent. But there's this big overlying question of how the abyss relates to the deep, and how they're different. And I think the deep is like a kind of corrupted, misunderstood form of the abyss. That's my kind of rough interpretation. And I think the little creatures that gnaw and bite are the manifestation of the deep, because of course the evangelists of the deep, they use these kind of swarm. They use Dorothy's gnawing. They use gnaw. I think this is what this is. This kind of this realization of this corrupt darkness. Let's be fancy and call it that. It's just my little rough interpretation, just off the top of my head right now. I just like the idea that she's scared of it, and she thinks, oh no, the dark is coming, I'm blind, and I need some lovely white miracles to help me, but actually the darkness is where she belongs, and she came from dark, and she's just not willing to accept that. And this is why this fear and these bad thoughts manifest themselves as this horrible gnawing inside her, kind of eats away at her from within. I think that's awesome, and I like this speech. And now I think he talks about Morn himself, so let's see.
And so, despite his weighty armour, he lived in fear of a delicate thing, little more than a girl, where fire resideth, shadows twist and shrivel, but in the abyss there are shadows none. Fear not the dark, my friend, and let the feast begin.
So I'm pretty sure this is talking about Morn, because it talks about Irina, and then it, talks about her knight, her protector, because all maidens of Karim had a knight who swore themselves to one maiden. I think that's the story there, and he was scared. I'm not sure how it is exactly. I'm not sure if he's scared of her and what she represents and what she's going through, or if he fears for her, as in he is scared to lose her, or he loves her, or something like this. I'm not sure. I think it's the first one, because he has to protect her, but he's like, what am I protecting? What am I getting myself into, kind of thing. And I'm not sure. I haven't done the Morn side quest in a while, but supposedly he has some fear about his duty. And then the preacher goes on to say, where fire resideth, where there's fire, then obviously you have this flickering flame, and you have shadows twisting and shriveling, and this really cool imagery there. But in the abyss there are no shadows, because there's no light, and there's no fire. It's just darkness. And so it's nice and comforting, and it's nice and still, and it's nice and gentle, and there's no twisting, shriveling shadows. And I think this goes back to the idea that dark, like pure dark, where humans come from and where we're going at the end of the world, I think this is a nice contrast with the fire, the darkness produced from fire, and produced from shadow. And I think this is a cool juxtaposition of these two forms of darkness, if you will. And he's saying, the way of white kind of clutched to light and light miracles, and of course Ulasil similarly was kind of really focused on light miracles and bending light, so much so that it kind of altered time itself. So they were really getting close to something kind of blasphemous, I guess, if you will. But that's, again, Ulasil, there's a whole other can of worms, but there's just a similarity there with how the Way of White obviously worshipped sunlight and Gwyn, and it was kind of a misguided religion, I think, considering the times. I mean, everyone thinks they're right, don't they, when you need something to believe in. But the Way of White was ultimately misguided, and they misunderstood the core principles of Gwyn and the gods, and what they'd done, and what they represented to man. And yeah, it's like they held onto this dark, onto this light and this fire. But as they did that, as they tried to control light and fire, obviously the flickering fire makes the shadows grow wilder, and it makes the shadows twist and shrivel in this way. And that again is perhaps the manifestation of darkness that starts to nibble away. It's another possible theory. It's not the deep, it's the troubled, it's the disturbed shadow, it's the disturbed darkness that we get from flame and that. So yeah, I really like these two sermons. I like all the sermons. I think these characters are just so interesting. Just little miniature, not like info dumps, but just little knowledge tidbits to think about. I think it's a really nice way to do it. But anyway, I'm rambling way too much for this one little area, so thank you for putting up with me for... Oh, no! No, you shan't partake. I'm just chatting with my buddy up here. We're all locusts, mate. We're all good. We're all kindred spirits. Chill out. So thanks for sticking with me for the last 5-10 minutes while I rambled on about that, but I do find it all very interesting, and this is how I intend to see out the rest of the DLC. So tune in next time, hopefully, and we'll talk about this some more. We'll see what else we can find out here. Oh, here he comes, the eager beaver. But yeah, let's leave it there for now. Oh, you've got to be... No, he's not coming up, okay. So, let's leave it there for now. Quiet Resolve. Edgelord for life. Edgelord Bug with a katana. And yeah, thanks again for watching, and hopefully see you next time. Cheers.